Another important landmark judgment that relating to Hijab case and the very particular ruling of Karnataka High Court regarding wearing hijab in educational institutions, whether it is an essential religious practices. So, in connection to that, we would like to discuss the very judgment delivered by the apex court and the Karnataka High Court in relation to the fundamental religious freedoms are the fundamental right, that is, right to freedom of religion or religious practices as provided under Articles 25, 26, 27, and 28. And in connection to that, we would like to discuss certain precedents cited on essential religious practices and the very judgment delivered by the Supreme Court. So, it was a case of 2022 or 2022. A two-judge bench of the Supreme Court of India, as were hearing the arguments on the correctness of a Karnataka High Court judgment that upheld the ban on the use of the hijab by students in Karnataka, which raises the very questions relating to essential religious practices. Wearing hijab or headscarf, why Muslim women does not form a part of essential religious practices in Islamic faith, and it is not protected under the right to freedom of religion as guaranteed under Article 25 of the Constitution of India. So the High Court of Karnataka declared on 15th March 2022 as it was not a part of essential religious practices. In connection to that, the Quran instructs Muslim women and men to dress modestly, and for some, the hijab is worn by Muslim girls and women to maintain modesty and privacy from unrelated males. According to the Encyclopedia of Islam and Muslim world, modesty concerns both men's and women's gets garments and every aspects relating to physical exposure. So, in that connection, would like to discuss the very judgment delivered by the apex court. The Supreme Court delivered a split verdict in the hijab ban case with one of the two judges upholding the Karnataka High Court order on validating the government's ban, and the other set aside the High Court ruling. So the question is that how is religious freedom protected under the Constitution of India as provided under Article 25 to 28, and which is a part of Part 3 relating to fundamental rights, so which confirms right to freedom of religion that we would like to examine. So Article 25 Clause 1, which guarantees the freedom of conscience and the right freely to profess, practice and propagate religion. However, the state can restrict the right for grounds of public order, decency, morality, health, and other state interest, while Article 26 provides that freedom to manage religious affairs subject to public order, morality, and health, while Article 27 provides states that no person shall be compelled to pay any taxes for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religion, while Section 28 provides about the freedom as to attendance at religious instruction or religious worship in certain educational institution. The particular relevant case and the dispute erupted in Karnataka when some Muslim students who wanted to wear hijab to classes were denied entry on the grounds that it was a violation of the college uniform policy. The Karnataka government issued an order stating that uniforms must be worn compulsorily, where policies exist and no exception can be made for the wearing of the hijab. Several educational institutions cited this order and denied entry to Muslim girls wearing the hijab. The petitions were filed in the Karnataka High Court on behalf of the aggrieved students. The Karnataka High Court made three primary findings in its judgment concerning the first one relating to essential practice. It held that the use of hijab is not essential to the practice of Islam. Thus, the right to freedom of religion was not violated. And I have also explained about right to freedom. It ruled that there exists no substantive right to freedom of expression or privacy inside a classroom, and therefore these rights were not at stake yet. In high courts, belief classrooms are qualified public spaces where individual rights must give way to the interest of general discipline and decorum. And regarding state discrimination, it held that the ban did not stem directly but of the government's order, which they called for a uniform dress code to be prescribed by the state or school management committees. As the law did not discriminate either directly or indirectly against Muslim students, so in connection to that, the court interpreted and analyzed certain essential religious practice states as it was applied in previous cases. So that we would like to examine a judgment of 1986 in the case Bijaya Emmanuel Boss State of Kerala, where students of the Jehovah's Witnesses denominations were allowed to abstain from singing national anthem as it was claimed to contradict their religious faith. In 2004, the Supreme Court held that the Anand Marg sect had no fundamental right to perform Tandava dance in public streets since it did not constitute an essential religious practice of the sect. The Supreme Court of Canada in Multani case in 2006 upheld the right of a Sikh student to wear a Kripan while attending the class without harming others. In 2016, the Supreme Court upheld the discharge of a Muslim airman from the Indian Air Force for keeping a beard, distinguishing the case from that of Sikhs who are allowed to keep a beard. So, the Supreme Court delivered a split verdict in the Karnataka hijab case. So, in support to hijab wearing, one of the judges held that secularity meant tolerance to diversity. So, he said that asking a pre-university school girl to take off her hijab at her school gate is an invasion on her privacy and dignity. It is violative of the fundamental right under given to her under Article 9 in Clause 1 subclause A and Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Further, he referred to submission that the hijab ban has led to dropout or transfer of students affecting their education. He also countered that although school was a public place, it was not correct to draw a parallel between a school and a jail or a military camp. So, in support for hijab ban, the other judge said that secularity meant uniformity and upheld the Karnataka High Court ruling, validating the ban on wearing hijab in classrooms in views that the hijab would affect the creation of a homogeneous group of students and would create a segmented society. He rejected the argument not denying students the right to wear a head scarf also denies them the right to attend classes as it is voluntary act of students. So he held that adherence to uniform was a reasonable restriction to free expression that reinforced equality. The judgment results in any questions popping up in the mind of people. Would the same standards that when is a female hijab applied to a turban worn by a male Sikh student? Further, can government colleges deny education to students who are seen to be violating a uniform code? Is the hijab or even a full covering in any manner violative of the process of imparting education? Can a government committed to female education deny education to those it deems improperly dressed? Should implementation of a dress code be prioritized over imparting education to all that seek it? So, these are the very important questions raised in the very job case that of 2022. So, in that connection, we would like to finally conclude our discussion and in there the very doctrine of essentiality was applied, and regarding that we would like to discuss in our next upcoming video in the lecture relating to doctrine of essentiality. So, now any court hearing matter touching upon a matter of faith has the unbearable task of acting not merely as an expert on law but also as an expert of religion. So, in our next upcoming lecture, we would like to discuss the same question revolving around relating to essential religious practices, and in that context, we will discuss the very doctrine of essentiality in our next upcoming lecture.